Welcome back to the Scotti-BYTE channel, and this is Scott. Today I wanted to introduce a really simple but useful feature called FZF, which stands for Fuzzy Command Line Finder. And this is a Linux command line utility, although it's also, as I understand, available for other platforms as well. But we're going to focus on what FZF can do for the Linux command line. One of the handiest features of the Linux command line is the ability to recall your history with the history command. And of course, you can scroll back through all of these commands and go and select one, but that's pretty manual. In addition to that, we could say history, and we can pipe that to grep, and we can search for something like incus. And then it would go ahead and return any command line that included the word incus. And I think that most people are aware of the Linux command line. However, fewer people are aware of the Control-R feature, which will go ahead and do a reverse search in your history. And so then I could type in incus, and it would find the very last command with incus. And so that's helpful as well. So let's superpower this command line recall ability with a program called the Fuzzy Command Line Finder. And we'll install FZF with the command sudo apt install FZF. Let's automatically define the key bindings for FZF. We can do that by doing a nano.bashrc, and once I enter the editor, I'll go ahead and do a control and press the end key. That will bring us to the bottom of the file, and I'm going to go ahead and insert a couple of lines right before my end of file comment. And so the lines are for the FZF key bindings, and it goes off and executes this additional bash file. I'm going to do a Control-O and Enter to write the file out, and a Control-X to exit the nano editor. To make our new key bindings take effect, we could log out and log back in, or we could simply do a source.bashrc, and that would go ahead and execute that command script once again. Now we can access the Fuzzy Command Finder anytime we want with a simple Control-R, and I presume that key binding is for recall. And then it comes up and it lists everything here. So I could type in incus launch, and it would bring back all of the incus launch commands, as you can see here on the screen. And then I can do an up arrow to a particular incus launch command, and suppose I wanted the one for mesh central here. I could then hit enter. Rather than executing the command, that would go ahead and bring me to a line where certainly I could hit enter to execute it, but I could go off and edit that command as well. You know, you can always erase a current command line with a Control-U, which really means undo. So the Control-U command there only undid the section before the cursor. If I move to the end of the line and do the Control-U, it will erase the entire line. If we go back into the Fuzzy Command Finder with another Control-R, you can also just scroll up in the list of commands and find any command that you might want and hit enter here. And again, it will put it back on the command line. I'm going to do a Control-U to erase the command line and do another Control-R. Suppose you really didn't want to be inside of FZF, you could simply hit the escape command and it would return back to your regular command line. So FZF is one of those really powerful command line features that I think that you should add to all of your Linux systems. Anyway, that's it for today. Please subscribe and like to the channel, and don't forget to hit your notification bell, and we'll see you next time.